Well, good afternoon, everybody. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to share my screen, pick the right one, the world record light. Hopefully it'll come up. And I'm going to log in. And this is what we need to be doing at the moment. So we're going to be talking about light pollution. So we need to click in here. So hopefully you've all registered. Go in here now, click on world record light, click on, we might click on see overview just so you can get an idea what we're going to do. Okay, we've got our password. We did that when we set up. Okay, you can quickly find it and reset the password. Don't rush, and that's really, really important because the challenge is designed to take 30 minutes as a requirement from the Guinness World Records. If you take 28 minutes, your registration won't count to the final number. So very, very important. You can start your lesson, stop and sign in again later if you want to. You can see what question you're up to on the sidebar. So if something happens, now you can start after dark and do it all in one shot, like an after dinner show. I'm going to do this part of it now, and then at 8 o'clock tonight, we'll have our virtual stargazing session where we'll go out and we'll talk about how to find the Milky Way, the Southern Cross, which we'll do in a little bit as well. So they're the things to remember. So now I'm going to come down here and do ready, set, go. Okay, waiting for it to start. So as you may be aware that this is a world record attempt, but the main other thing of it is a world record attempt to the most people doing a lesson online at the same time. But what's more important is one of the problems we have in the Southern Hemisphere is we don't have a lot of Southern Hemisphere observations to make a baseline on light pollution. Before April this year, we only had 7 observations. Then we got another 770 or so in April. So that was really, really handy. So, but now what we need to do is to be able to have as many as we can. And if we can get over 2,000 from this and preferably up to 10,000, that will give us a good baseline, particularly if we can get them from the city, from rural areas, from regional areas, from urban areas, from right across the country to get a good idea what the state of light pollution is. So that's what the record's all about. So I'm going to start my course now. See if they're there at the countdown. And let me see. Start course. There we go. I'll put this up on Zoom later today, up on my YouTube channel later today. Okay, so I have to apologise for my loading because I'm on a satellite. So here we go. We have the lesson title is Introduction to Light. So here we go. Of course, my computer wants to send up evil messages, so I'll deal with it. Okay, now we're going to watch the movie, and the Dark Sky Alliance is a very, very good project to get involved in. And let's check out their premiere. Here we go. Okay. This is an amazing thing put up by Lidcombe School. Okay, here's our first question. Okay, I was lucky enough last year to host the children from Lidcombe Public School who put that video together as they won the competition. And they were a delightful bunch of young people. So here we have the question, what is light pollution? We have to collect all answers that are desired. So it's a threat to wildlife and ecosystems. The excessive use of artificial light at night. I don't think it's the opposite of dark pollution, so I'll undo that one. It's easily removed from the environment. And I'm going to click that one as well. We'll see how good I go. Let's see how I got right. Oh, I got one wrong. I should have put in easily removed from the environment as well. Okay, good thing it's not based upon getting your answers right. Good thing we can go back and do it all over again later. Okay, so let's move on to the next question on how much of the world lives under the effects of light pollution. It's another video. And for those of you who've been out to visit us, okay, well, here's question 2. Okay, we'll do this quiz. We've got the answer. Loading our question. Okay, so this one I should be able to do right, 80%. And we'll confirm that. There we go. Good, I got that one right. I feel very virtuous. But you only have to think about it if you go out, if you're even in a dark area, if you have the lights on and you're looking at the sky and then you turn the lights off and see how much more that you can see. And even in an urban area, I can remember back in the early 90s showing people through a telescope in the middle of Carlingford in Sydney, and there was street lights outside. It was Christmas. There were lights in the next door neighbour's front yard, and it was just incredible how much we could still see. But then when we moved where we didn't have that light effect, just that minor change, just the difference that it made. Okay. Let's continue. I don't need to retake that. Okay, so what are the three main types? Okay, let's see how we go this time. And I think I need to go back and do that one I got wrong. Okay, here we go. Okay, so glare, light trespass, and sky glow. I think we'll leave the lightsabers out of this one. There we go. There, we got that answer correct. So if you want to, you can read them or download them. And now we'll do question 4. Okay, so let's continue and answer the question. We're halfway through. So, artificial light impacts animals and insects because they haven't had time to evolve to live in a world without natural darkness at night. Seabirds are attracted to the light and get confused, stopping them finding food or disrupting their migratory paths. Turtles look for light to direct them to the sea. Instead, they're drawn to towns and roadsides, reducing their number significantly. Owls have opened all-night libraries so they can read the classics to pass the time. Okay, so I think we'll skip that one. We'll take 1, 2, and 3. See how we go this time. Good, we got that one correct. Okay, let's continue to move on. So we started the course at 13:09, now it's 13:24. We're going to do fine at staying in our 30 minutes. Okay, we've passed. We'll go on. And this is important. This is what we can do to reduce light pollution. Okay, now up to question 5. Thank you, Dr. Fred. Okay, let's do the quiz. And part of the whole thing is to try and reduce the sky light pollution one light at a time. And we can do that. Okay, here comes the quiz. How can you reduce light pollution? Let's say choose all answers. Put outdoor lights on sensors or timers. That would help. Use warm coloured and efficient globes. I think it might be a bit difficult to make sleep masks for birds. And certainly I can't really see a koala with a pair of sunglasses. Start with natural darkness and use only light when you need it. Turn lights off when you don't need them. Don't think that somebody else will. And fully shield lights and direct them at the required surface. Yes, just putting them on bright surfaces will make them bad. Let's see how we've gone. There we go. We got that one correct as well. So let's move on. It's good when we see that. Next one is okay. So now this is getting ready for tonight. Just by the by, I'm going to also have a virtual stargazing session. And I guess because it's virtual, it won't matter what the weather's actually like, but we'll go through this again at 8 o'clock tonight. But now we'll go through and see what we've got to do in preparation for tonight. Okay. So we can continue now. Now, obviously, we can't put in our observation at the moment. we'll need to do that tonight because obviously the Southern Cross isn't visible in the daytime. If you're doing this from the Northern Hemisphere, you'll be using the constellation Bootes. So this is how we're going to put in the data. Okay, this is for Bootes at the moment, because obviously it isn't here. So if we were in Africa, we put in our time where we made our locations, and Arcturus is the very bright star. We can actually see Bootes from the Southern Hemisphere as well if we're looking towards the north. And these are the little maps that they're talking about here. This is obviously, again, because it's daytime here, we can't see. So that's when you're seeing it the brightest. We'll see if we can shrink that in a bit. You know, we can switch to Hercules, and as it's getting in a darker sky, as you can see more and more stars there. And in a place like here, we're going to see between 4 and 5. In the city, we're going to see around 1 to 2, maybe 1 if we're lucky. Okay, so we would then go in, as we were told, and fill in those observations and go to the next stage. And this is what we will be doing tonight. Okay, and so this is what you get. And you won't get this number until after we finish, when it comes on the thank you result tonight. So when you get that, just remember to write that number down. Okay, that's going to be very, very important to go from there. So what I'm now going to do is I'm just going to scoot back to the top and redo that first question. Okay, what is light pollution? Okay, this is the one I got wrong, so let's retake the quiz. Okay, so it's a threat to wildlife and ecosystems. And here was the one that I missed before: easily removed from the environment, contributor to greenhouse gases, and the excessive use of artificial light at night, confirmed. And so we need to stay on here. Now, as I said, we'll be coming back to this tonight at 8 o'clock. So if you've had a chance to work through all this, please do so. If not, continue. But the whole purpose of this is to save the sky one light at a time. So I'm just going to switch screens to Stellarium for a moment. And this is the sky looking east at, I can make this behave itself, tonight. About 8 o'clock, you'll see Jupiter and Saturn. You can't sort of miss Jupiter. It's a really super bright one over here. And then you'll come across and you'll see a star right moving towards the southwest called Canopus. And directly almost overhead, you'll see the Southern Cross with the 2 pointer stars are literally right on top. And at the moment, if you just drop them down, a line halfway between the pointer stars at the moment, that will take you towards the south. If you're in a really dark sky and the weather's clear, you'll also, hopefully by this time, and you'll have been out for a little while, see the emu in the sky, which stretches across here, across to the Scorpion. That's Sagittarius there, there's the Scorpion there. What I'm going to try and do is make my screen behave itself a little bit better than that. Let's bring it in a bit, bring it out a bit. I really shouldn't play with it while I'm talking. But that's what we want to do tonight, to have a look at it. This is obviously set for where I am here. I'll turn this back on here. Bring my field of view out a bit so we can see a bit more. And that's a really good idea if you're using it, is to put on the red light. The other thing you may or may not see while you're out tonight, we've been seeing a lot of them at work, are the meteors, small meteorites at the moment in the general vicinity. So it's really good. And around 8 o'clock will be about sort of the latest you'll start to see some satellites and things like that. So we're going to cover that all off tonight. We'll go back to our webpage here. We're still on it. And we'll fill this all in, the rest of it, tonight. So go through, get your information, finish these last 2 lessons tonight once you've got it, and that's where you're going to be up to. Now let me check here. I've got 2 more minutes to go to my 30 minutes, and then we're done. But light pollution is something that we can do something about, because we can turn lights off. We can not have light leakage. We can make sure we're not using them when we don't need them. Put them on timers And kids, encourage your mums and dads and grandparents to turn the lights off, and let's save together, let's save the night sky one light at a time. Okay, it's been lovely chatting with everybody. I'll be back at 8 o'clock tonight. I'll put this up on YouTube and I'll post some reminders so we don't forget. But let's all be part of this world record attempt, and also to try and help make that baseline that we need for light pollution. Okay, on that note, this is Donna the Astronomer, and I'm going to sign off. If anyone's got any questions, I'll go through them in the chat. One question I've got is, if it's cloudy, what do I do? That's simple. We'll just go in there and register that it's cloudy, because obviously you can't see anything because of the cloud. But it's a legitimate observation that it's cloudy or murky. Let's hope that it isn't. I'm looking out of my window at the moment and there's a bit of cloud and there's a bit of blue sky. So hopefully I'll be doing the show, the 8 o'clock show from Milroy tonight. Okay. I'm just waiting for it to click over. So there's my 30 minutes. So I've done my bit, and those of you who've been following through doing it with me have done your bit. So we'll leave that for now, and I'll talk to you again at 8 o'clock tonight. Thank you very, very much. Have a great day. Bye.